The NFT bull run is back on. Some of these blue chip NFTs are starting to pick up some pace. We're seeing green everywhere. Let's jump in and check out the stats and see if we're riding that bull to the moon. First up, I want to say if you hit that like button, it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also down the bottom there are chapters so you can fast forward to the sections that you want to help you navigate the video easier. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before jumping into the NFT space. So first up, we're going to be jumping over onto Nansen and having a look at the blue chip index. Now this is over a 3-month period, and we can see that there was a big peak in volume around the 28th of August. It was absolutely nuts. Then the market cap actually kind of chopped up and down. We had another little run up towards the end of September, but the volume, and the volume are these green bars, has been dying off, and it feels like a floor has come in when it comes down to the price. Now if you have a look down the bottom, you can see that the volume is starting to pick up. Now when there's more volume in the space, it means that there's going to be more people buying, and there's more money in the system kind of like washing around, which then means that this could be an indication that we're kind of seeing some confidence in the consumers that are willing to buy into these blue chip assets, and you can see the volume there. So before we continue into individual projects in Nansen, what we can actually jump over on OpenSea and see is we're sorting by volume, is that the 7-day volume up, 24-hour volume up. So Bored Ape is up sort of 200% on that 7-day. CryptoPunks up 54% over the week. We've then got Mutant Ape Yacht Club up almost 300% over the week. So we can see a lot of green when it comes down to the 24-hour and the 7-day stats are in OpenSea. There are some red littered in here, but the fact that it looks like we have hit that floor when it comes to NFTs, and there are some buyers coming back in to get some deals. Now let's jump over onto Nansen and have a look at individual projects. First up, Bored Ape Yacht Club. Now we can see this chart starts at the 15th of October. The average price was kind of sitting quite flat, and over the past 2 days it has pumped up, and the volume has gone absolutely insane. We've had a volume of 4,800 ETH when it comes to Bored Ape Yacht Club, and we can see here that the average price is currently starting to get into an uptrend. Since the 9th of November, it looks like it's ticking upwards, which shows good strength when it comes to this project. Now real quick, the software that I'm using here is Nansen. It is a paid software, but I've actually done a tutorial on it. You can actually get a link to the tutorial up there. It's long, but it's very detailed on how to kind of read these charts. Nansen is a paid software, so you will have to kind of fork over some cash for it, but it is quite good when it comes down to the stats that you get on NFTs. So if we have a look over the last day, we can see that the minimum price was 35 ETH, the average price was 45, and the max price was 70. What you'll notice here is the minimum price has gone up 22, the average price has gone up 8%, and the volume has essentially doubled. The transactions are up at 80% as well. So it can show that buyers are coming back into this project, and they're coming in strong. When we jump over and have a look at Sandbox's land, we can see here that the volume is insane. Now the volume was insane when there was all this metaverse talk when it came out to Facebook. And all that kind of floating around, but we can see over the past couple of days it's kind of pumped up. The average price though in a steady uptrend. Since the October, it's just been November has just been climbing. It is just going up. Even the minimum price is going crazy, and the max price is also sitting quite high as well, which is great to see. And as you can see here, up 57%. With the minimum price, average price up 9%, even the max price is up at 18%, and the volume has been increasing. Jumping over and having a look at Cool Cats, what we can see here is that from the 15th of October, it was just in a downtrend. There was a little peak on the 25th, but it looked like we hit this price floor where it was quite flat. And then the volume has kicked in since the sort of 9th of November. The volume is quite strong, and then we can see just an uptick where the average price has gotten to 8.3. We can see here that the average price was quite down, and then once we get to November, it gets flat, and then it is starting to kind of tick upwards. Having a look at the minimum price, it's up 8.3%, the average price up 14, and the max price up 106, and the volume has increased with a volume of 365 ETH. So we can see that there is some green across the board when it comes to Cool Cats. Having a look at Cyberkongs, we can see the huge volume and average price on the 24th of October. Now what what you will notice here is that every time there's crazy volume, there's a big peak. So what I can see here is that it looks like Cyberkongs is primed for the average price to kind of have a bit of a bump up, and this is represented here with the minimum price looking like it's put a floor in at around this 4.3, 4.4, and we're starting to get an uptick over the past couple of days. And we can see here that the minimum price has gone up 20%, average price up 64%, and the max price 1,300%. Having a look at Mutant Ape Yacht Club, I'm actually kicking myself because I've been looking at sniping one of these, but it looks like the price has absolutely just pumped. We can see here that the average price, we hit that price floor, and then when the volume came in, it just absolutely exploded. What you can take away from this chart is the fact that if you're seeing a project that has flat volume and flat pricing, jump in, because as soon as volume kicks in, it's going to be a quick run up. And we can see here that the average price since the start of November has just been in an uptrend. Over this 24-hour period, up 13%. We can see the average price has gone up 14% and the volume has gone up 120%. And the last one we're going to look at is Doodles, which also mimics some of the traits of Mutant Ape Yacht Club. When we have a look, the huge volume when it started, and it was sitting quite flat. It looks like a floor was established, put in, and then we're kind of bouncing off that average price of 1.4, and then as the volume comes in, it's only small little bits of volume, but as the volume comes in, the price has gone up. We're going to need to see a couple of closes on Doodles to see where it can go, but it looks very strong when it comes down to the average price, just in an uptrend. So this is another indication. If you see the volume die off and the strength of the project looks quite strong in terms of pricing and it's not kind of dropping off, it may be a good chance to buy in, because if you then have the volume come back in, it should push the price floor up quite high. Over the 24-hour period, minimum price up 42%, average price up 31%, and the max price up 150%, with a crazy almost 300% gain in volume. So overall, looking at the charts, there's a lot of green that's currently happening. If you are nervous or cautious about the current climate of the NFT market, what I would do is I would hold off a day or so to see some confirmation of this and just make sure that this isn't a crazy swing in and a swing out. But overall, what you can then take away from this is that with some of these blue chip assets, even some of these other projects that may not be blue chip but have a stronger sitting, is when the price floor comes in, when some volume comes in, and volume usually comes back in, the price floor can then bump up and jump up quite fast. What I do believe is that with the NFT market kind of starting to gain some momentum again, some of these lower cap projects will start to get a boost, because people won't be able to afford a 35 ETH Bored Ape. They won't be able to afford a 6 ETH Cool Cat. They may not even be able to afford the 1 ETH projects, but it comes down to those sort of sub 1 ETH projects. There may be some momentum coming back into the market. So overall, I'm not going to call it and say the bull run is back on definitely, but I'm going to say that we are a day or two away from starting to see that momentum pick up and build. What I would say is jump in if you have been looking at something and you have been sort of sitting on your hands like I was. Maybe the time is to jump in and actually execute one of those trades to make sure that you can actually kind of snag something for a deal and not have to wait for another cycle to then pick up a bargain. Before I go, I want to talk about the giveaway. I'm giving away 0.1 ETH when we reach 5,000 subs, so make sure you hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Down below in the links, I've got a link to my Twitter and a link to a pinned tweet. Follow me on Twitter, retweet that pinned tweet, and then when we reach 5,000 subs, I'll be giving away that 0.1 ETH. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.